How to apply for business credit and what exactly do you need to get that? That's the topic for today's episode. And without further ado, let's dive in. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. In today's episode, we're going to cover everything there is about business credit. So I've been getting a lot of emails, people asking me what exactly is it that you need to achieve business credit? What's the difference between that and personal credit? So we're going to go in detail about the stuff that actually you will need to keep in mind or at least have handy in order to apply for business credit. So first and foremost, you're going to need to maintain a good credit score, a good personal credit score. Why is that? Because when you're new and you're trying to establish business credit, people still need to put a face behind it. So the creditors are going to process your business application, but they still need to see who's going to be the personal guarantor for this business. So when you're getting started and building your business credit, you're going to need to pay attention to your personal credit one way or the other. Then you're going to need something that's called the EIN, and that's basically like the Social Security ID that it's going to be attached to your business. Just like you have a personal Social Security number that they attach to your business credit, the same thing is with the EIN that's going to go attached to your business. And last but not least, you're going to need the DNB or the Dun and Bradstreet number. And I'm actually going to do a demo and show you how you actually can achieve all of that. So I'm going to share a little bit about the letters that I've been receiving when I first applied for business credit, so you can actually tell what is it that the creditors are looking for. Each creditor is different. Some do not care about your personal credit once you have established a history with them, and some of them that will be the first thing that they're going to look into. Some of them do not care and they just go straight to your EIN or your DMB. We're going to see all of that into my screen, and so without further ado, let's just dive in. Okay guys, so we're actually in my screen now, and this is a copy of a letter that I had received sometime last year when I first got my LLC and got my first EIN number. And as you can see, I blocked some of the information out for identity protection purposes, but I wanted to share kind of like the layout of what a letter from the creditors looked like. So this was in fact a rejection letter because I didn't really have any business credit history or anything like that. I thought that it was actually a good thing to save one of these letters, so when I start building my business credit and get solid business credit, I would actually look back into this letter and kind of like say, oh, you remember those days? Turns out this letter came in really handy today when I decided to record a video to show you all about business credit. So as you can see here, this is a scan. You're going to get the reference ID up here up top, and then the name of your company, your address, and dear company such and so. Yada, yada, yada. We regret this, we regret that. But what I wanted you guys to focus on the most is actually here, where it says our decision was based on the whole or in part of the following credit reporting agencies. So you have TransUnion, Experian, and Dun and Bradstreet. So the reason why they looked into TransUnion and Experian is because even though you are a business, they still need to put a guarantor behind it. A guarantor means a person who's going to be responsible for the debt, a person who's going to make payments for the debt. And that's typically required for the businesses that are new. So let's say you don't have any business credit built over the past couple of months or even years. The first thing they're going to go ahead and look into is, can this person be a responsible business owner? Let's look into his or her personal credit and see how he or she behaves. And so that was actually my case. I didn't want to wait. As soon as I got my EIN, I went ahead and applied. I figured the worst thing they're going to do is just to say no. But then when I came across Dun and Bradstreet, that's when I was like, oh, I remember back in my corporate jobs, I remember that some of my bosses were talking about getting a Dun and Bradstreet report because sometimes they will bring in other companies in-house to do some work for them. And one of the major things that they typically check was, is this company solvent? Is this company healthy? How do we know that if we pay them, these people are not going to run away with our money because they just happen to be bankrupt and they're just robbing people left and right? So they always talked about Dun and Bradstreet or DNB, but I never actually had to worry about anything like that. My job was to actually review that they had a healthy DNB credit. versus now I'm actually trying to apply for some of it. And I'm going to go into detail about Dun and Bradstreet in a little bit, but I wanted to finish going through this letter first so you can all see what a typical letter from the creditors look like when you're applying for business credit. So then in the next paragraph, you're going to see that they talk about the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And basically what they're saying here is that whatever your decision is, it was unbiased, it was based on facts. However, you still have the right to get a free copy of your report, like they say here. And this arrow right here, what I'm signaling, a free copy of your report from the reporting agency, meaning these three. And if you request it no later than 60 days after you receive this letter, they are required to give you a free copy. So if you get one of those rejection letters when you're starting to build your credit, you do want to understand what is it that you need to build on. They do give you some reasons here, but in my experience, they just basically take like a general term and they just put it up here and say, oh, these are the type of reasons why we reject borrowers or people who are trying to apply for credit in your category. So it's not really a good reason per se for you to really understand, oh, here's where I need to work on. No. So what you need to do is actually reach out to them and request a copy within 60 days after you get this letter and actually analyze that report and look into the details and say, oh, okay, so this is what I need to work on. I haven't been in business long enough. So you know what? Let me just wait a couple of months and apply for the next credit card. And that's what I did. I actually waited 6 months and then I went and applied for an American Express card. And I actually got approved after that for 6 months because I was building my business credit actually for 6 months. I let my EIN, my LLC season for a period of 6 months. And each state is different, each bank is different, each creditor is different. So basically what I'm trying to say here is do not give up. If they say no the first time, whatever, just go on with your life and then just wait another couple of months and apply again. And then if they say no, then just wait a couple of months again and then just apply until you finally get a yes. And that's basically what I did. And next, let's move on to the next paragraph. Then they tell you actually what type of report they look into. So in this case, they say your credit score was, and they will give you a credit score, run on this date, whatever. And the name of the report is actually the TransUnion FICO 09 Classic score, which varies from 300 to 850. So when I read this the first time, I was like, what is it? Like, I don't understand. I thought there was only one type of TransUnion score, right? But luckily, I was able to find a report online. And don't worry about the link. I'm actually going to share the link with you in the description box down below. But this is actually the report that they were referring to. And here's the link. Again, I'm going to provide it down to you in the description box below. But they were referring to a FICO Score 9 Classic. And I'm going to scroll down to this really quick because I don't want this video to be too long. And once you get the link, you can actually review the report at your discretion. But if you scroll all the way down, they actually talk about the different type of scores. They talk about the Vantage score, which is the one that Credit Karma uses. So you can actually access this link and take a look at this report, learn a little bit about the different type of Vantage score. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to go straight into the report that they were talking, which was the Classic 9. So if we scroll all the way down, we're going to hit the section where they call the FICO risk scores. And you're going to see the report right here. So this is the report that they use. It's based on 13 scorecards. It was developed back in 2011, 2013, and these are the ranges that they follow and how far they actually go back into. So they look into delinquencies that have been over 90 days within the past 24 months. And so basically, whatever stays in your credit for the last 2 years or 24 months is going to be reflected in this score. That's basically what it means. And the range, I'm pretty sure you guys know, 300 for the lowest, 850 for the highest, and so on. And it looks like the majority of these are within 24 months, but I'm guessing maybe there are some other reports that can go a little longer than that. Like, for example, actually shorter. So they talk about 12 months here. Take a look at this report at your discretion. It's actually very informative. And now we're going to go to the interesting part, which is how to obtain a DNB credit. So now we're on the DNB website. This is where you guys are gonna come and request your Dun and Bradstreet number or your DNB number. And don't worry, I'm gonna provide you the links down below in the description box. But you have 3 different categories. This is actually the one I use because I just didn't find the need to pay for any of the services because I was getting started. But as you start growing more and more, you will probably want to go and pay for some of the pay services that Dun and Bradstreet is offering, because they give you not just a number, but they start offering you the credit file, credit signal, which is kind of like their services for credit monitoring. And then if you want to go one step above, then you have the full credit file, credit signal. And I believe these prices are on a yearly basis. And if you come to think of it, it's actually not so bad, because you are getting a peace of mind. You are monitoring your business credit, and you actually are staying on top of it. So you know what you need to work on, what is it that you're lagging on, and you can start working on how to improve that. But for the purposes of this video on the demo, we're going to come to the free section, and they say it can take up to 30 business days for you to get the number. To me, it took less than a week. Like, it was so fast, it was ridiculous. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit on get started, get a Dun's number, and then I'm gonna put NYC business, and then the year that I started, 2018, because that's where I opened up my business. Number of employees, I'm gonna put 2 because it was me and my boyfriend. Annual sales, I'm just gonna make some number out for now, $46,000 a year. Business description, you do real estate. And then company website, www.nycbusiness.com, right? Whatever your website is. Business telephone number 888-888-8888, and then business email nycbusiness@gmail.com. And then, so your structure, here's when you're gonna select, okay, are you a sole proprietorship, are you a partnership, or a corporation, which includes a limited liability company. If you don't know what these structures are or what they mean, take a look at the video here, and you're gonna actually learn a little bit about it. You don't have to get out of the video now just to click on this card. What I'm gonna do, I'm also gonna provide you the link in the description box down below, so you can learn all about sole proprietorships, partnerships, and corporations in a different video. And so for this exercise, we're gonna select a corporation. The principal name must be the company's highest ranking officer, meaning the president or the founder. In this case, that will be you. So you just go ahead and put your name. I don't know, I would say NYC business head. So now on the principal title, you're just going to go ahead and select your title. So let's say you're the CEO of the company. And then for a corporation, if there are any shareholders that are part of it. So if you have your wife or your husband or maybe another business partner, then you just put it in there. And in this case, so let's say you have a partner, that will be NYC business partner, put the name, and then how much of an ownership. So let's say you went in half and half, so you went in 50-50, right? But then if you have someone else, then you go ahead and you click on add an officer or shareholder, and where your location is 123 Main Street, and then let's say in the city we're gonna put New York, and then state we're gonna select New York, and then 11111. And then United States. If you have any social media accounts, you fill those in. If you want any partner office, yes, I would like to be contacted by LegalZoom. If you want to work with their LegalZoom team or any ADP services, etc. In this case, we're just going to go next to the next page. And then Dun and Bradstreet account registration. So you need to create an account. So let's say you are applicant 1. And then last name 2, and then email nycbusiness@gmail. So you go ahead and you kind of like get the picture. You create your password, confirm your password, you hit agree to the products, you hit submit, And what's going to happen is that immediately you're going to get an email in your inbox telling you that they already received your application and that you'll be receiving the DNB number soon. So you can start enjoying the benefits of having a DNB number. That's basically it. So I'm going to get out of my screen. Okay, so that was everything I had for you guys today. Hopefully you find it very informative and helpful. And if you want to get access to the links to any of the sites that I actually cover in the demo, feel free to take a look down below at the description box. And without further ado, I'll see you guys next time. And remember, don't forget to spread the love. If you know of somebody that's going to find the content helpful or valuable, feel free to share the link with them. And without further ado, I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.